Hey, everybody. If you offend easily, are you getting treated for that? Are you taking medicine? Are you seeing somebody? Maybe getting one of those um, things that you go to get the thorn out of your ass. Anyway, make room for me after all. So, we're going to talk about death. Dun dun dun! Let's talk about death, baby. It happens to you and me. Anyway, um, so how many of y'all had a near death experience that stays with you? I mean, I'm willing to bet it's not a small amount. We're kind of stupid as creatures and a little too comfortable in our own existence that at this point, all of us qualify for the Darwin Award. Okay? So, the one that I have that sticks with me, and I guarantee you it is not the only one. I've done a lot of stupid things that I don't know how I survived, and I've told y'all one or two of them already. But I want to talk about the one that sticks with me really hardcore. So, we had a pool in our last house, and we had a rolling bar cart with a little stereo system built in. All you had to do was plug it in. Don't get ahead of the story now. And for some reason, we thought it was a good idea to roll it to the other side, as long as we stayed away from the pool. Except over time, it didn't stay away from the pool. Nor were we, y'all see where this is going. I had just we had this little slide that led to the pool that we hadn't gotten resurfaced yet from when we moved in, so we didn't actually use it. So I was just kind of sitting on the rough edge and just waiting for some reason. I don't even know why. I never went on this thing because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't resurfaced yet. And that was when the cord unplugged and fell into the pool and shorted out half the house. Like half the house went dead immediately. And my husband turns around. He wasn't in the pool. He was doing something on the side. And he just kind of looks at me wide-eyed. And I said, I had just gotten out the pool. And we both just kind of quietly contemplated what almost happened. And y'all, I know it seems like I'm going through the story real quick because it was just a quick thing. It was so fast that it was that fast. I got out the pool and the cord fell in. And yeah, sometimes that really bugs me. And it's crazy because I make it a point to at least try and accept the inevitable. I know we're all going to be afraid when the time comes, but I don't want to be afraid. But I know it's not going to be possible, but I hope that the more I come to terms with it, I don't know, the better prepared I might be. I don't know. I don't know. I probably dwell on it more than I should for someone who's alive and not relatively close. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. Although, as y'all hear, we're stupid. We're stupid, so who knows how close I am at any given point in time, but that sticks with me. And I think about that because the man who taught me palmistry was a man in New Orleans named Jarek. Some of the folks from down there know that name. That was one of the names you don't forget, especially if you were part of the New Orleans street history, especially. And I was most definitely one of the street rats. Okay. So Jarek taught me palmistry, and for a little while before he died, he actually lived with me. And he told me about a heart attack that he had. Said he was mowing the grass, came in for some sweet tea because he was hot and chugged it, and had a heart attack. That he just would just give me this horrified, hollow tone would take over him, and he would say, "There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. You're just gone." And I remember being okay with that. I'm not. Okay, if we're gone, then that means I ain't got nothing to worry about after the fact because I won't be around to worry about. I mean, what? What is there to worry about? If it's nothing, then okay. I'm not looking for immortality. I'm not looking for afterlife. I'm not. Dear God, I'm not. Dear God, I'm not. So, for the fact that I do believe that there's something, on the other hand, I do believe there's also nothing. And I'm okay with that. So, look, several years later, a couple years ago, I started on a new psych med. Thank God. And, oh, sorry about the mild earthquake there. And one of the side effects of this medication, I had to look it up after the fact. I recommend you do it too. It's called Alice in Wonderland syndrome. It took a bit to find information on this. I had to go down quite a few rabbit holes. Um, Basically, you know how in Alice in Wonderland, the whole eat me, drink me, bigger, smaller, don't go there, you naughty boy or girl or whatever. Um, He, she, they, them, all. Um, that the whole bigger and smaller aspect, your world would get bigger, your world would get smaller. And I was definitely experiencing that. And I realized when it started happening that, oh, I remember this. I did it when I was a child. I did a lot of things as a child, apparently, that not mentally normal. Might explain a few things now. We're not getting into that today, maybe. But I was out of my body, and I was out of my city. I was out of my house. I was out of my city. I was out of my country. I was out of my planet. I was out of my solar system. I was out of existence suddenly. I was beyond anything. I was beyond anything's reach. And I was asleep. And I didn't want to be. And it was okay to not be. And everything was so far away and small. I didn't have to hear it. I could just close my existence and not be. And if I wanted to tune in, I could. I could actually get real close all over again if I wanted to tune in, but I really didn't. Oh no, I really wanted some existence sleep. It's the best way I could put it. And y'all, this feels pretty accurate to me. It felt pretty accurate that I was beyond all of it, and it was all so far away, and all I had to do was close my existence eyes, the eyes of my existence, and not. And if I could come back if I wanted, I could come back as anything, be anything, do anything. But I just didn't. I wanted to rest my existence for a while, and I had the ability to do that. And y'all, I'm getting all emotional again. Y'all, I think this was accurate. I think this was accurate. I think this was accurate. I'm really okay with that. I'm really okay with that. That makes me not afraid. I'm more afraid of how painful it would have been to be electrocuted in my pool at home. What a fucked up way to go. So, let's just get into a reading at this point. I've got like 2 or 3 subtopics I could go into based off of that one, but I'm looking at the time right now and I don't want to do that to y'all. Mostly because I want y'all to actually watch this rather than, just skip through or cut me off at a certain point. Y'all listen. This is some... I'm not just talking for my health, not just. I'm talking for my health, but not just. Okay? I don't know if this is like a visual diary for me or just a way to feel like I'm connecting without having to leave the comfort of my home or deal with any of y'all. Let's just do a reading. So, haven't had this one in a while. So it's the Tower card. Okay. And this card is usually an indication. Okay, we're going to leave it up on the... Okay, this is usually an indication of everything just going kablooey. This is the chaos hitting the fan. This is... Common explanation of this one is simply that in order for you to build something new, you've got to tear the old one down. And I think we've established by now, I went ahead and admitted it, I'm in Vegas, which is a common one we experience out here whenever they want to build a new casino. They have to tear the old one down first. And if you haven't seen any of those videos, go check them out. They're actually pretty awesome how they do that. You have to tear down the old to make room for the new. And because I don't feel like I've got chaos coming in that sense. I feel like I'm being told to tear down an old establishment. Now that could be a lot. That could be a lot of things. There's a lot of things I could probably stand to tear down. And with my desire to put a bit of foot to ass lately, and realization that it needs to happen, I think I'm not surprised. Y'all may remember I have a deck from a game. It's not actually a tarot deck, but it works really well as a tarot deck, and I want to pull a card from it today and just see what demon message. There you are. Moon. The darkness of the night feeds the brilliant. Every cycle has a beginning and an ending. Each path of the moon can yield a foreshadow of inspiration of the offspring of invention. Use the blanketing embrace of night to focus your dreams into manifestation. Well, if that's not a message... Oh, okay. All right, it's time to build. Time to build. Time to tear down in order to build. We're not done manifesting. I got chills now from that. This deck is really awesome. Okay, so what else do we get in the reading? A reverse 9 of Cups. So we have some emotional distraughtment. Cups that are normally full and overflowing are starting to drain. Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a side effect of foot-to-ass behavior, but I'm also looking at the fact that there's an event that's going on. I'm not doing it. I probably influenced it, but I'm not doing it. There's an event that's about to happen that is going to tip a lot of cups. Got to figure out a way of refilling them after the fact. Okay. All right. The Hermit. Oh, don't I wish, don't I wish, don't I always wish. My little Cancer self wants to stay home. No, actually, I'm kind of... Actually, this is such a pretty card. Y'all, this is such a really pretty card. Okay. And I like the way that the light from this is kind of exactly catching the card to look illuminated. That's really nice. You know what? And it's in the upright position. I think... this was something I was thinking about. I don't know if I mentioned it the last reading or the reading before, but that it seemed like the people around me were benefiting from my manifestations. And that maybe it wasn't for me to gain so much as it was for me to pass along to those around me. That my spiritual octopus needs to stand in the center again and start spinning. That's what I call the manifestation. I start spinning and I grab people along with me and I let them go if they need to be let go and I pull them in if they need to be pulled in and I just start spinning. I seem to generate the energy for everyone. I feel like the power plant of my world. And I don't say that in a, oh, it's all about me sense. I literally feel like it doesn't function unless I start moving things. And I don't know. doing so makes me, I want a hermit. I want a hermit, but I'm noticing that I'm managing to make connections while hermiting. So who's to say what happens when you are in the solitude of your own self, to know your best self outside of any outside influence? The hermit doesn't care what other people think. The hermit doesn't care what other people feel or judge. He or she or they or them is outside of influence from ads and TV. They shut off. They get to know their selves without influence. I think I've been away from people without actually hermiting. Oh, next runner up is, the Prince of Cups. The emotional young man. The emotional young masculine energy. We need gender neutral cards. Because it's always masculine or feminine. What if the gender doesn't matter? And I've actually said that a lot myself. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's a person. It's a person who feels deeply. It's a person who's maybe young and inexperienced with their emotions, or at least handling them not necessarily the most mature way, because they're a prince, not a king. King or queen or regent. Ten of Swords in reverse. This is, this is normally like a great betrayal card. Like getting stabbed in the back that many times, having that many people betray you. And I have a feeling that the path is correct. That I'm not, maybe I need another reminder that I'm not doing the damage I think I am. Speaking very, very open, very grandly, I guess, about this, but like, in the grand scheme of things, maybe I am exactly the crabby little thing I meant to be, and I've been saying this, maybe I need to just stop playing nice with everybody, like, y'all, sometimes y'all, most times, y'all, I sometimes have panic attacks about having to leave the house and go deal with y'all. And if the video blipped out, I just got a notification about my meds. Right on time, right? But at the very least, it's the reminder that I'm not hurting people and or I'm not being betrayed. One more card. I'm over time. One more card. One more final card. Bum, bum, bum. Three of Wands. Time to celebrate ritualistically. Time to prep. Time to get everything ready. We've got something big coming. Something really big. Time to prep. Time to prep. Time to prep. Time to prep. All right? Y'all, enjoy the life. All right? Just try not to stress the end. Don't be like me. Don't stress the end. All right? And in the meantime, prepare for something big, apparently. Bye, y'all.